Alright, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. I want to do my daily Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. However, today I would like to do something quite different than I normally do. So this one is going to be more about long-term investing, and I'm going to focus a lot more on the Bitcoin miners. So this is definitely a big deviation from my normal daily update. So I hope you stick around and watch this. Also, if you're watching this, there's more than a 50% chance that you are not subscribed to the channel. So if you would do us a big favor and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, you'll see a link in the description to our free Discord. So we have a big discussion about Bitcoin miners going on over there if you'd like to join us. I'm going to go through the miner big board, and then we're going to take a quick look at Bitcoin because it really isn't doing very much. So I hate to go over the same charts day after day when there's so little activity, and it's very neutral activity as well. I want to talk about what some of the potential long-term opportunities are here. This is an extraordinarily unique situation in the Bitcoin mining sector that presents itself. So for those who invest wisely and those who have a long-term time frame, that's what I'm going to be talking about today, and I think the opportunity is quite shocking. Let's go to the Bitcoin miner big board for starters. This is a totally red day from top to bottom. I know there's some smaller miners that don't make it on my list, but this is my entire watch list that I'm following, and they are all red, and they are all very red. So to highlight, Marathon was down 10% on the day. I think that was the worst performer. And if you go down the line, about as good as it gets is down 5%. Now, this is a trend that has continued. I will tell you, today was a down day in the market. So this was a very big red day overall. However, if we take a look at Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. Bitcoin really was not volatile today. For 90% of the day, Bitcoin was up from where it closed yesterday. We did happen to close on a candle that was, 1/3 of 1% below that line, and then the next 15-minute candle came right back to this line. So we were sideways all day long. And at the same time, the Bitcoin miners were crashing again. So Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners keep getting further and further apart. And that is what I want to talk about. So this is the Bitcoin chart on the 1 week time frame. And I just want to show you where Bitcoin is from its high in November until right now. So over the last 7 months, Bitcoin is down approximately 56%. So the Bitcoin miners are down dramatically more than that. The Bitcoin miners are down between 85 and 90%. In order for Bitcoin to be down 86%, that would be $9,600. So it would have to go down another $20,000. Bitcoin would have to go down more in the future than it already has in the last 7 months just to catch up to how much the Bitcoin miners have gone down. So every Bitcoin miner is different. So this is where I really want to emphasize. Some of these miners may end up doing very well and surviving and thriving, while other of these miners may not make it. So several of these Bitcoin miners are performing very well. So they're executing their plan. They have strong balance sheets. They've had excellent operational mining performances. They continue to grow their exahash. And by all accounts, if you look at the company itself, they seem like very, very healthy companies. Yes, of course, they would be pulled back because the thing that they are mining, which is Bitcoin, is down 56%. So something along of a 56% pullback would seem natural. However, they are down significantly more than that. So for the companies that are healthy, for the companies that are going to survive this, and some of these companies, in my opinion, will actually thrive, the amount of upside is dramatic. However, I'm talking about a long-term time frame at this point. So, Bitcoin in 2021 was how fast are we getting to 100,000, and expectations were to the moon. So we had Plan B come out, and a lot of people were following along with that, and he was talking about numbers that were $140,000 by the end of the year in 2021. Obviously, we did not get anywhere near that. We peaked at 69,000 in November, and really, we've been on a steady downward trend ever since. We've had a few mini bull runs inside of the last 7-month bear run that has resulted in a 56% pullback in the price of Bitcoin. So right now, what I'm talking about is the opposite. A lot of people ask me, what's your price target by the end of the year for this company or that company or 90 days from now? Bitcoin has entered a different phase right now. It is absolutely going down, and over the past month or two, it's been going very sideways. So it is very hard to determine when a bottom is in. I don't want to call a bottom. I actually do think we're bouncing along the bottom, meaning we have a very strong line of support at about 28,800. We flash crashed down to 25,000 at one point. So I would not be surprised to see us revisit those, but in the big picture, I do think we're starting to trend back upwards. How long that takes is anybody's guess. But if you're looking at these stocks in more of a 5-year investment time frame, then you can ask yourself, where is Bitcoin going to be 5 years from now? So I'm a little more comfortable with where my thoughts are on that than where my thoughts are on where Bitcoin is going to be 90 days from now or 6 months from now. So you've got Kathy Woods, who says that by the year 2030, Bitcoin's going to be at $1 million. So there's one person at one extreme. But I think you have the vast majority of the marketplace, even those people that have been naysayers on Bitcoin in the past, most people believe that Bitcoin is going to get to $100,000 sometime between now and the year 2025. So some of you may think that is just around the corner. We're going to hit that this year. Some of you may think that's 2 or 3 years off, but there's a fairly reasonable consensus that even if we go through a crypto winter, Bitcoin will recover and start to set some all-time highs over the next several years. So if that is the case and that happens, what is going to happen to these Bitcoin miners? Not what's going to happen to them in the next 2 months or 3 months. What's going to happen to them in the next 5 years? So I want to go through some of these Bitcoin miners in specific and just show you what I think could happen very realistically based on what has happened already. I'm going to start with Riot blockchain. So this is Riot's chart on the 1-day time frame. So basically all of these stocks had a local peak back somewhere in the middle of November, back when Bitcoin hit $69,000. So I'm going to measure from that peak, which may not be their 52-week high or their all-time high. I'm just going to go from 7 months ago, back in the middle of November, until now. So Riot hit a new 52-week low today. So you're going to see in the case of Riot, they are down more than 88%. In the same time that Bitcoin is down 56%. So this stock has been drastically taken out. Now, as we look at the rest of these stocks, you're going to see this is not that unusual. Anywhere between 85 and 90% is the vast majority of the publicly traded Bitcoin mining stocks. So those are vicious downturns. Typically, you only get a stock to go down 80 to 90% if it is on its way to going out of business. You can watch some of my previous videos and get my thoughts on this, but you're going to see that I believe a lot of these companies are very well positioned to get even through a crypto winter if that's where we're headed. And again, I do not believe that's where we're headed. Again, this is not financial advice, so you guys got to decide how you feel about where Bitcoin is going. But again, I'm not talking about where Bitcoin is going in the next 6 months. From an investment standpoint, if you're a holder of Riot and you think they can survive the next 6 months, whether it be a bear market or a crypto winter, where does this stock have the potential to go? What's the potential upside on a 5-year time horizon where Bitcoin gets back to at least its previous all-time high at $69,000 or more likely $100,000. Now, if you don't believe that Bitcoin is going to appreciate over the long term, then that would invalidate this whole argument, and these would not be good long-term investments for you. So then you've got your answer on how to invest right there. You really don't need to listen to anything that I'm saying. If you believe Bitcoin's not going up, then you probably shouldn't be investing in Bitcoin or any of its derivatives like the Bitcoin miners. For the rest of us, and it's mostly a consensus among the investment community, that Bitcoin will revisit its all-time high and likely set new all-time highs on a going forward basis. Now, that is no guarantee at all, but I'm going under that premise over a 5-year window as I talk about these Bitcoin miners. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to look at is if in the next 5 years, Riot can get back to the price that it was at just 7 months ago. So if over the course of 5 years, it can recoup the losses from the last 7 months, that is a 751% increase in the price of Riot stock. There's a few things that you should know. That would assume that Bitcoin only gets back to 69,000 where it was. And again, even if it only gets back to 69,000, remember, Riot is going to be 10 times the size the company that it was back in November of 2021 when it was trading at that sales price and at that market cap. So in order to recover its old market cap, it's going to end up being multiples larger of a company, and Bitcoin should be at or higher than the number that it was at. So if you're bullish on Bitcoin, I think this is a very conservative price target, and this is a 751% price increase. Again, I'm talking about a 3, 4, 5-year window, so this is not going to happen tomorrow, and it's likely to get worse before it gets better because we are now 7 months into setting new low after new low. So it's very unlikely that today is the bottom. So I take a dollar cost averaging approach for that reason. So I can't tell you guys how to invest. If you're going to try and time the bottom or wait for the bottom, whatever your philosophy philosophy is, for me, I dollar cost average in because I believe that even if this goes a lot lower from here, it's going to end up somewhere like we're looking at, up 750% from here, even if we go down 50% before that happens. So what I'm going to do is continue to dollar cost average into the Bitcoin miners that I think are going to survive, that I think are best set up to be successful companies going forward. So again, I can't tell you which ones those are. I do individual videos on each one of the Bitcoin mining stocks. So, if you want my opinion, you can take a look at those. But again, it's not financial advice. You guys have to make your own decision. So the last number I'm going to look at for Riot is last February. So Riot was trading at $79.50. Now, I will remind everybody that in January and February of 2021, there was a big bubble with all the small cap high growth stocks. So this number was probably a little over exaggerated at the time. However, given a 5-year window of time, if Riot could get back to its previous all-time high, which was less than 1.5 years ago, that would be a 1,370% increase in the price of Riot stock. So again, that may seem ridiculous, but Riot stock was just trading for that less than a year and a half ago. A small percentage of this is due to stock dilution, but the vast majority of this is due to a loss in market cap. So this stock is legitimately down over 80% in market cap. These kind of numbers sound ridiculous, but if you look at small cap high growth stocks, this does happen. We had many stocks in January and February of 2021 have these types of runs in 1 or 2 or 3 months, never mind 5 years. So I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if you are bullish on Bitcoin and you have a miner that you've done your due diligence on that you think has a good future, these are the types of returns you can expect. I'm not going to go through all the rest of the miners. I'm just going to show you 1 or 2 to show you that basically these are all in a very similar position to Riot. So if I look at Marathon, which hit a new 52-week low today, Marathon's down over 90% in the last 7 months. So there's even more upside to Marathon than there is to Riot. Now, they have their own story. So again, you've got to know your stocks and you've got to do your due diligence because there are very big differences between Riot and Marathon. But again, if you believe in this company, it's down over 90% in the last 7 months. So that's a potential 1,000% return if it could get back to where it was trading 7 months ago at its 52-week high. Again, I'm not saying it's going to do that. I'm just showing you the numbers here that are these companies 90% worse than they were a year ago? Most of these companies are 3 or 4 or 5 times as big as they were a year ago, not smaller. So yes, the price of Bitcoin's down 56%, but in my mind, that does not equate to 90% reduction in these stock prices. So again, you've got to make up your own mind. I'm just showing you from a number standpoint what's possible. So if you made it this far in the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck investing, and we will see you in the next video.